Thousands of years ago, cannabis wasn't just smoked for pleasure, but revered as a sacred key to the spirit world. In ancient China, cannabis was deeply tied to spiritual ceremonies, medicinal practices, and burial rituals. One of the most fascinating discoveries was made in the Jiayi Cemetery in Turpan. Archaeologists uncovered a burial site where a man was laid to rest beneath a full cannabis plant, carefully placed above his body. This wasn't recreational use, this was sacred. Shamans, spiritual healers, used cannabis to connect with the afterlife. They believed the plant allowed them to cross realms, access hidden knowledge, and speak with the spirits. Psychologist Abraham Maslow even called this a peak experience, a moment of spiritual clarity and self-transcendence, powered by mind-altering substances like cannabis. But cannabis wasn't just for rituals. The Chinese used hemp, the plant's fibrous stalks, to create cloth, pottery, and tools as far back as 4000 BC. Moving on to India. In ancient India, cannabis played a sacred role in Hindu rituals. Known as bhang, it was often ingested during festivals to honor the god Shiva. Much like in China, Indian shamans, known as sadhus, believed that cannabis brought them closer to divine truth, that it quieted the body and awakened the mind. Cannabis also had practical uses. Before anesthesia, Chinese and Indian healers would use cannabis to relieve pain during surgeries. Also, ancient Egyptian physicians treated inflammation with cannabis. Today, cannabis use is spreading rapidly, and there are many people advocating for it to be legalized. But why do people use it now? Well, modern studies show that many users seek creativity, relaxation, or pain relief. But just like the ancients, some still turn to cannabis for spiritual meaning.
What originally drew me to marijuana meditations was the fact that I saw a community of people just getting together and smoking weed and just hanging out. I thought it was very interesting because I've never done a group session of meditating with anyone before. And the fact that they were smoking weed while meditating, I was like, I have to see what this is all about. What inspired me to be on the marijuana meditations team was just seeing how awesome and how cool it was to have a community come together and cultivate their ideas. I love that each person had brought their own unique perspective to this group, and it just really inspired me overall.
So, while the methods may differ between the ancients and modern-day individuals, the desire remains the same: to connect, to heal, and to understand the self. So, from the ancient tombs in China to Hindu rituals in India, cannabis has traveled centuries as a tool of transformation. For thousands of years, cannabis has existed in the background of human culture, not just as a plant, but as a powerful symbol. In ancient China and India, it was a gateway to the divine, a healing tool, and a fabric needed for daily life usage. Those who were using cannabis were not chasing an escape, but rather seeking insight and deep spiritual connections. Fast forward to today, cannabis continues to spark debate, inspire research, and challenge society's definitions of medicine, morality, and spirituality. As we look to the future, the question of whether cannabis is good or bad should be rephrased to: how can we relate to it? Do we view it as just a trend, or does it help reflect our cultural values, beliefs, and needs? At the end of the day, cannabis has always meant more than what meets the eye. And by looking back at ancient texts, sacred rituals, and buried artifacts, we can observe and comprehend how much cannabis has shaped human experience across time.